Good afternoon, this is Anand. Today I'd like to take this opportunity to discuss our research project with you. Our research project deals with a medical imaging problem. Specifically, it deals with how to classify breast cancer in screening mammography. The motivation for the study comes from the fact that most deaths related to breast cancer in India are due to a lack of early screening. So a system that is able to help in this will help immensely to slow down the mortality rate of the disease in the country. So the project aims to use a deep learning based system in order to classify breast cancer. However, it is important to go over the fact that multiple such computer aided diagnostic tools exist. However, there are key limitations when it comes to such existing systems. The fact that most of them are trained with annotated data sets, that is, they are trained with patches of the cancerous tissues already labeled by radiologists, means that their use in the real world are limited because obtaining such annotations are difficult and expensive. So the purpose of this study is to develop a system that is able to perform well even on unannotated screening mammography. Note, this does not mean that this is not a supervised training problem. The labels still exist, they are just not in the form of patches as seen over here. The unannotated system would be using labels over the whole mammogram. That is to say that the mammogram would be classified as having cancer or not. So transfer learning is an approach that utilizes pre-trained models that have been trained on a particular data set in order to set a starting point for another problem. So the same model might be used for further training on another data set in order to provide a performance boost or even provide a reduction in the training time for the model. So the system basically is trained in two separate stages as seen on the slide. First, a convolutional neural network is trained using a data set of annotated mammograms. So this is similar to conventional techniques. However, once the training is completed, the weights of the model are frozen. And these weights are taken as the starting point for the system to be further trained on another dataset. Now, this dataset is a dataset of unannotated mammograms. So we are leveraging the system's knowledge that it has learned from the annotated dataset and applying transfer learning on it to fine-tune it on the unannotated dataset. The benefit is that we get a system that is now able to classify unannotated mammograms. Next, we are talking about the backbone of the whole system, that is the actual convolutional neural network used for classification. We are using a ResNet or a residual network based design. A ResNet is a very popular neural network architecture used for computer vision problems. It is made up of repeating blocks of convolution layers as seen on the figure. The benefit of the shortcut design of residual networks is that it is able to overcome the vanishing gradient problem of very deep neural networks. And what is meant by that is if we train a very deep neural networks, it is often seen that the gradients become so small that training is not possible after a certain point. So a residual network overcomes this problem and we are able to construct very large or very deep neural networks which are able to learn from the input. So just to go over the workflow of the system or the project, we first take a convolutional neural network that was just discussed and train it on an annotated data set, which we have taken to be the curated breast imaging subset of the DDSM dataset. So the model is trained on the dataset and the weights are frozen. The frozen weights are now taken as the starting point for training on the unannotated dataset. That is the data set that does not have the region of interest annotations that I've just shown you. So this fine tuning is actually what is transfer learning, and the model is then evaluated against the original model trained only on the annotated data set at the task of classifying breast cancer in the in-breast data set. So we have some specifics of the initial training of the system on this slide. As we can see that we are using the CBIS DDSM dataset, and if you look at the snapshots below, the dataset consists of your mammograms and the associated ROIs. So the associated training parameters are on the slide, and the system was trained for 50 epochs on a 6 GB graphics card. The system was trained for 6 to 7 hours and resulted in a training accuracy of 90%. So the next step of the training was to fine-tune the model on the unannotated dataset. So in order to achieve this, we leveraged a two-stage training process. We first froze certain layers of the convolution neural networks and only trained the top layers on the new dataset. This was done in order to preserve what had been learned by the model using the previous dataset, as training the entire model on the new dataset would have destroyed that knowledge. So after we were confident that the system had learned about the new dataset, training was stopped, and then the two models were benchmarked. Now, if we look at the training and validation accuracy of the model on the in-breast or unannotated dataset, we can see that the model has reached an accuracy of around 75%. When we benchmark the existing model using the same dataset, we got an accuracy of around 50%. So it can clearly be seen that the model trained using transfer learning outperforms the existing model. And we can also observe that the training and validation loss graphs are pretty close. So that indicates that the model has yet not overfit on the training data. So the system still has potential to improve with more training and more data. Now, if we look at the results of both the models on a very small validation set, we can see that the proposed or the new model is able to make predictions with higher confidence in certain cases. And we can also see, as in the example of case 7 and case 9, that the newer model is able to correct the mistakes of the existing model. So this shows that the model has lower rates of false positives and false negatives. So we can safely say that the model is better at classifying breast cancer in unannotated mammography. So next I'll be doing a short demo of the system. So I have loaded a couple of images or mammograms from the in-breast dataset, and I'll be running both the models on these images. So first we'll run the system that has been trained without transfer learning, that is the existing approach. So if I run the inferencing, I'll see that it gives me a probability of benignness or malignancy in the mammogram. That is how likely it thinks that there is presence of cancer in the case of malignancy or absence of cancer in the case of benignness. So we can see that the model clearly gives us a prediction that it thinks that the mammogram is benign in nature. However, if we run the same mammogram through the model trained with transfer learning, we'll see that the model gives us a different prediction. Now, running the inferencing on the same mammogram using the new model, we'll see that the prediction of the model is different to the existing model. The new model actually gives us a prediction of malignancy. That is, it thinks that the mammogram is actually cancerous in nature. So in order to verify this, we can just look at the file name and bring up the corresponding report of that accompanies in-breast, and we can see that indeed the file name has a BIRADS rating of 4C. Now, BIRADS is a tool used by oncologists and radiologists. This is used to label their suspicion that there is a presence of cancerous tissues or abnormalities in a screening mammogram. As we can see that a rating of 4 is very high, and that may indicate the presence of cancerous tissues. So we can see that the model is indeed able to identify the presence of cancerous tissues in the mammogram, and it is also able to correct the mistake of the previous model. So we can safely say that the system does work on unannotated mammography as well. However, there are still room for improvement. We can definitely work on the accuracy, as a rating of 75% in a life critical situation as detection of cancer is still considered low. However, this validates the approach taken by the study. So that will be all. Thank you for tuning in.